We actually did meet up with Chris with the C63 at the motorway services, but it was a tiny service station, so I'm not quite sure why he picked it, because I was just blocking traffic, so I had to get going anyway. We're pretty much the first person here. We've got a few other cars arriving. There's a really cool Beamer over there with air suspension. That's Chris. Of course, that's Chris in the C63. So over here we do have an old TVR. Of course, probably the classiest of the bunch, as we're all rather yobby. But more to the point, this M4 is an M4 CS, and I hadn't heard of that because I've heard of the DTM, but it turns out this thing's with limited production. And look at these inside doors. Of course, like the DTM hasn't got door handles. It's got a bit of strap you can pull, but the actual door itself is made out of like carbon composite stuff, like carbon fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous and looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm a big fan. The finish on it is gorgeous, and under the hood, the engine on it as well is absolutely crazy because it's got a massive carbon fibre strut. And in terms of other carbon fibre options, you've got the rear diffuser around the exhausts, a small sort of wing at the back, in addition to, of course, the front splitter, which looks amazing as well. And I've got to say, the quality of the carbon fibre is really good. Also, the stuff I've got on the GTR, the two small bits of carbon fibre, I don't think it's brilliant carbon fibre, but this is real high gloss and has a really nice finish to it. We've got yet another GTR turn up, of course. A nice pearlescent black, so sort of an opposite twin. But we've also got a Dodge Challenger Hellcat SRT. They're really cool. I absolutely love them. It's a really cool green colour. So in terms of horsepower, I've definitely now been shown up by the Hellcat, but I still win in straight line speed, aerodynamics and round corners. But I've got to say that that Hellcat is absolutely awesome. A few old Nissans as well. We've got a 180 ZX, I believe it is, which is pretty cool. There's a BMW 1 Series diesel. Now this is extra special, this 1 Series diesel, because not only is it a 1 Series diesel, that GTR looks like it's a new one as well. It's got the carbon fibre rear diffuser, so he is as fast, probably faster than me, because I haven't worn a bine at all. But that is mean looking. But the 1 Series diesel over there is a coupe. Now I've never seen the 1 Series as a coupe before. Obviously I'm not exactly well versed with it all, but the coupe over here has got a very, very cool aftermarket mod indeed, because air suspension. I saw this thing lower and it was just absolutely epic. I'm a huge fan of that. But £4,500 for an air suspension kit, I think, is ludicrous. I mean, that's like nearly a year's insurance, am I right? But no, seriously, that is honestly really cool. And I've seen a few Liberty Walk GTRs who've got air suspension, and they're amazing. But unfortunately, for insurance purposes, I've got to keep it stock. But this GTR, pearlescent black, sort of the opposite of the one I've got, which is pretty sick. Now I'm having a good time mainly because the Skyline squad have showed up. Of course we have the two older Godzillas, R32 and R34. These are absolutely epic. I'm not sure why it's turning up. Looks like a Corvette to me, but anyway, R34 GTR, R32, just absolutely love them. Of course, the original Godzillas, massive fan. And this Clio is a guy I met a few weeks back at the Sandbanks meet when I saw the other R35 GTR, the one with the toys number plate, T10YS. Lou Mac, follow him on Instagram, right there. But he's actually put air suspension in this Clio. I was just thinking there are a few cars here I'd rather have than mine, although I won't admit that, but McLaren 12C in this colour I've been informed is Volcano Red. Absolutely gorgeous car. rear engine, V8, and a lot of carbon fibre on it, and I can't express how good that colour is in person. Not to mention the fact that it's absolutely immaculate as well. There's no scratches on it, and it's just so uniform. It looks like it just rolled out of a showroom. So wherever it gets it detailed, I'm going to have to find out, because it is in immaculate condition. Once again, we've been hanging around for too long, because not only am I getting a bit sunburned and all the R8's making a racket, but a couple of the other cars have left. Me, Dan and Beth are going to go and have a food vlog, and we're having a barbecue tonight, so that should be pretty sick. So I'll take you along to those two, assuming the camera doesn't die. If the camera dies, the vlog's going to end abruptly. Just let you know, I'll go beep, that'll be it, that's it. Done. Flash through of what's just happened, been to gym, took the A6 obviously, and arrived at the barbecue in the GTR as per Kieran's request, because he wanted to get picked up from work in it. I'm a good friend. Anyway, we've got a few other cars showing up now. I've got a Fiesta ST on the way, an old one, I think that's a Mark II, and the Mark III Fiesta ST over there, which is Dan's, that we convoyed to the Supercar meeting today. But now, I'm finally ready to answer the question of whether the R35 back there, R35 GTR, is actually a supercar. Now I'm going to get opinions of the early barbecue goers to get an overview of whether they think it's a supercar or not. But let's see. Oh no, what's going on here? So, opinion number one, Dan, is the R35 GTR a supercar?
Yeah, I class
it. Is it a supercar?
Oui.
Kieran, is it a supercar? Beep. I never actually got around to talking about whether the R35 GTR here is actually a supercar, a race car, a sports car. What do I classify it as now, having owned it for a few weeks and driven it quite a lot of the weekends? So there are lots of different things that come into fact here, but there's things like the fact that Nissan call it a GTR, a Grand Touring Racer. So Grand Tourers are defined as comfortable cars that you'd use for touring. So suspension's a bit hard. While it does have seated electrically adjustable seats, I certainly wouldn't by any stretch of the imagination call this a Grand Tourer, because it's so uncomfortable, especially as a daily. Just from the suspension alone, it is not a Grand Tourer. It is most certainly close to the sports supercar category in that regard. Race car. Race car is a car that has been built specifically for use on a prepared track. Yes, this is perfect for track use, and I'd say, as it rolls out of Nissan, one of the best cars ready for track use you could probably buy. But as a race car, it wouldn't have the the aircon, the radio, the adjustable electric seats, and some of the creature comforts that you would usually find in a Grand Tourer. So the characteristics of the GTR do mean it is a little bit of a sort of Frankenstein, because it doesn't fit into any one category. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, you haven't bought a supercar, you've bought a sports car. So as you can see, a sports car is defined as something that has possibly and usually a removable roof, in addition to having performance at high speeds. Now, of course, this thing does have performance at high speeds, very high speeds, but obviously this does not have a removable roof, and in addition to that, the fact that it's got such high performance means I think it fits into the supercar category, which is a sports car with incredibly high performance. Now, 550 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, does mean this is well within the performance categories of high-end supercars, let alone supercars of like the lower categories. Like I'd say this is faster to 60 than a Huracan, than an Aventador, than, I know it's 60 isn't it, but it's quarter mile times, a sub 11 seconds stock as it rolls out of the gate, because of the fact that the 2013 has got Launch Control Edition 5 with that 550 brake. It is just absolutely ballistic when you open it up. And definitely performance-wise is far too high performance to call it a sports car. Now I understand, because the brand is Nissan, and because of the fact that the interior is very nice but somewhat questionable in comparison with the Ferrari and Lamborghini rivals, which are significantly more expensive again. I understand why saying it's not a supercar brand, it's not a supercar, but it is a supercar. Similarly, an Ariel Atom, I'd probably call that a racing car because it's a track car, but also fits into the supercar category because of its such extreme high performance, especially around a track, and 0 to 60. So in my opinion, this is a supercar, and if you look at Nissan's official motto on the Grand Touring Racer, the GTR, it is a supercar. So for those of you out there saying I haven't bought a supercar, A, if you haven't been in one that's post 12 plate with the ridiculous launch control and the stupid performance statistics, you are forgiven. And also you may be thinking the interior is too bad. Again, you are forgiving, because I thought the interior was going to be a lot worse than it actually is in person. It has a much nicer finish and more solid feel than I initially anticipated. But no, it's not comfortable, and the performance you get is very raw and aggressive and not refined like it might be in a Lamborghini. Like that what Lambo went out of pools in, so much more comfortable, so much less aggressive in terms of how quick the power comes on and how rough it is. This is not a refined car, it's not a comfortable car, it's like a bulldog. It really is like an angry animal that's trying to kill you. But it's still a supercar. It is, unfortunately and definitely in my eyes, looking at the definitions and the competition that's out there, the 2013 GTR, the DBA GTRs are supercars. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy, please remember to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of my latest content, which is only going to get better as the year progresses, especially now I've got this beast behind me. And the TT hasn't gone anywhere. That is currently being fixed, but will be back soon in replacement of the A6 I've got back there, which is a courtesy car. But the content is only going to get better. If you did like the video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below telling me whether you think the GTR is a supercar or not. But if you don't think it is, I think you're a little bit wrong. Anyway guys, oh yeah, and road presence. Road presence, didn't mention road presence. Everyone screams, everyone takes pictures, it gets a lot of attention and it makes a gorgeous noise. Anyway, I'll see you guys very soon with more awesome content. Catch you in the next one.